Hello and welcome to the United Community Channel. This is your talking points, 5 of them in relation to Manchester United's victory over Fulham in the Premier League. We're going to talk about Rowe, we're going to talk about Rashford, we're going to talk of course about Xerxes. Let's jump straight into it. Number 1, good start. It's been a good start to the season, okay? 3 points on the board. And we have to be a little bit realistic here. We know the performance wasn't, spectacular at times, but I think it was a good, solid performance. I always go back and think about what Alex Ferguson said back in the 2000s. He said in an interview that, if he was offered a draw on the opening day of every Premier League season, he would probably take it, So we have to be realistic here. It's 3 points on the board. There's a lot to improve on. Of course there is. But to me, it feels a little bit different to last year. If you remember the Wolves game last year when it was a snatch and grab, we came back, and nicked it at the end. I think in this game, I think for large parts we did control the game. And I think we were probably the better team for the majority of it. There was a couple of times where, Fulham counter-attacked on us and we did look open. One in particular where Maguire got a kind of a toe, last-ditch toe in. And that would have, I think, drawn the game, I think. But a couple of real positives to pinpoint. First and foremost, what we gave out about most of all last year was the amount of shots we were conceding on our goal. And we've drastically reduced that in this game. I think Fulham only actually had 2 shots on target. I think 10 shots in total throughout the game. So that is an improvement. And I think large parts of that are down to how well we defended as a unit and as a team, not just with the back four, but in midfield as well. So, look, it is a good start to the season. It's 3 points on the board. We took top of the table, obviously, for a very short period of time. But we've got 3 points on the board now, and it's a really good start. Let's build on it going forward, and let's move on to Brighton and see can we get 3 more. Number 2, Rowe, and is he the real deal? Well, look, I was really, really impressed with his performance, I have to say. He was up there with man of the match contender. I think I gave Harry Maguire my man of the match in the end. But Rowe was absolutely fantastic. To come in only after being involved in the club and been there a few days, to give us such a solid and composed performance, I thought was really, really good. Defensively, he was brilliant. I love the couple of times that he covered his back, his centre backs. He was wheeling in around the back four when the ball was coming from the other side. He made a really good challenge in the box when Fulham were in. I think they had a shot on goal, and only for him intercepting, you could have said Fulham would have took the lead. Going forward, he looked really good as well, really composed. He done the simple things right. And when we're talking about getting him for, £17 million, I think? Or even less. It looks like a real bargain. The one thing we have to say about Rowe, and we've said it before we even signed him, was his fitness. Okay, I don't think anybody has been questioning the abilities that he has. You're not playing for Bayern Munich if you don't, have the attributes to do so. It's staying fit. Now, we want him to stay fit, and I think if he can, over the majority of this season, I think he can really challenge the likes of Luke Shaw and Diogo Dalot for them fullback spots. And I think it's good the fact now that we've got, if everybody is fit, we've got 3 really good fullbacks to challenge for 2 spots. And I know, look, Malacia is you would hope going to be back as well at some stage this season. But if we're talking about 3 real quality players, I think we've got 3 really quality fullbacks now. If we can keep them fit, we're going to have some real good competition for places there. So really, really impressed with his debut, and I think he will be as well. Long may it continue, and let's hope he can build on that and stay fit going forward. Number 3, is Casemiro back? Now, look, we've been saying in pre-season and even in the Community Shield as well, he looks a different Casemiro. Not even in terms of how he plays, but just to the eye. He looks lean, he looks sharp, he looks more interested, to be quite honest with you, and his performances have shown that as well in the Community Shield, and again the other night I thought he was really, really good. He got into some good scoring areas as well and some good opportunities, got a couple of shots off on goal. Look, he's a defensive midfielder. You're not expecting him to score goals, but I was impressed with him. he was getting up and down. He was linking up play as well, and he's been a little bit creative as well. We've seen it in the Community Shield. He put in two really good balls that we probably should have ended up scoring from. The Ahmad one where he squared it to Mount. And again, Casemiro was heavily involved in a lot of the forward play against Fulham on the weekend, so I was really impressed with him. We're going to need him this season. Even if we do bring in the likes of Ugarte, he's not going to be able to play every game this season. Casemiro is going to have a big part to play. I think he stays, to be quite honest with you, unless Saudi Arabia come in between now and the end of the transfer window with a big offer. I think he probably stays. I think United probably would like to get his wages off the books and maybe reinvested. But in terms of performances, the two competitive games we've had so far this season, Casemiro's been really, really good. And long may it continue. I think the criticism maybe that he got last season has maybe spurred him on. Obviously, not being in the Brazil squad in the summer has had a huge impact in terms of him being able to do a full pre-season. And I think we're seeing the benefits of that coming in to the early stages of the season. Look, there's a long way to go. Of course there is. And he's going to have to put in a lot more consistent performances. But I think it's a very, very good start for him. For people who want Casemiro to stay, it's looking quite good. I don't mind if he stays. I'm happy with Casemiro to be there. He's a quality player. He fell off last season, of course he did, but he had a bad season. Let's hope he can get back to the highs of the first year. And if he stays, he stays. But if he goes, we're going to need to bring in a replacement for him. Number 4, the Rashford dilemma. Now look, second half against Fulham, I thought it was a much improved performance by Rashford. First half didn't do an awful lot for me, I have to say. In fairness, the majority of the ball was going down our left-hand side. We said on numerous occasions throughout the watch-along that every time Ahmad got it on the right, which, wasn't an awful lot, I think he looked a lot more likely to create chances than Rashford did. When Ahmad is running at a fullback, he seems to be running with purpose. He looks like he has more control over the ball. Whereas Rashford, he still has that kind of tiptoe. You can tell he's trying to get that ball onto his right foot and open for a shot. But I think second half, I think the creative side of Rashford's game was really good. Created some really good opportunities, putting balls in across the box. So I think it was a lively performance from Rashford. The defensive side of his game and tracking back, I thought, was much improved. His work rate is improving. And that was a big criticism of Rashford last year by the fans, that he wasn't working hard enough. And I think he has turned a corner in that sense. He is going to have to start scoring goals. And look, it's early days in the season. I'm not going to be overcritical of him. He's got my backing. He's, a Manchester United player. He's not going to be leaving this summer. So I'm going to back him, and I hope he does well. He needs a couple of goals under his belt. Rashford is a very, very much a confidence player. And I think if he can get a few goals early in the season, I think we'll see a different Marcus Rashford going on through the season. But yeah, he's doing the basics right now. He's working hard. He's trying to do the right things. And if he continues to do that and continues to try and improve, get his confidence back, I'm sure he'll have a much improved season this year. But he still does have a good way to go. And number 5, dream start for Xerxes. Look, what an absolute dream it must be to come on, in your debut, 15 minutes to go, and with 2 or 3 minutes to go at the Stretford end, you get the winner. It just absolutely what dreams are made of. I can't describe maybe what he's going through. It's just an absolute dream. But I was impressed with him coming on and what he done. We've been talking about what is Xerxes going to bring to the team, and a lot of people were saying he's not an out-and-out number 9, and he isn't an out-and-out number 9, and we've seen from his goal exactly what you're going to get out of Xerxes, dropping out into that pocket in midfield, looking to get on the ball and looking to move it, maybe from right to left or from back to front, and trying to get into the box. Then he doesn't sprint into the box. He's very much like I really don't want to compare him to this lad, but he reminds me in terms of how he gets into the box of a Martial. Just kind of times his run nicely to get in there. And it worked, on Friday night against Fulham. It really, really did. I'm absolutely delighted for him. I do still think he's got a bit of a way to go in terms of maybe his fitness levels. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't start again against Brighton next weekend. And we've seen, by you can even see with the thumbnail we've got here. He got it for 10 minutes and he was covered in sweat. That's a good thing, but it also indicates maybe that his fitness levels are not maybe up to scratch yet. But absolutely delighted for him. It's a real good confidence boost for him to come in and get a goal in his debut like that. And to get it at the Stretford end is absolutely phenomenal. So look, he probably does have a little bit of a way to go in terms of his fitness levels and being integrated into the team. But, I mean, if you're looking at wanting a good start, it doesn't get much better than that. Let's hope he can continue it, because we are going to need goals between now and Rasmus Højlund being out. There is a concern about where the goals are going to come from. Obviously, we mentioned Rashford. We need him to start scoring again. We need more goals from Garnacho, from Ahmad, even from Bruno Fernandes, who should have had 2 or 3 the other night as well. So goals will be a premium this season. Let's hope Xerxes continue, but what a dream start. Guys, I do appreciate you watching. Please do smash a like on the video, hit subscribe if you're new to the channel, and let me know your thoughts in the comment section below on all of the talking points and any other talking points that you have as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.